Welcome to Under the Sun Podcast.
I'm Irene.
And I'm Ilea. We're so glad you're here. Grab a hot
or iced coffee and join us as we talk about everything under the sun.
Today is a special day because I get to interview the woman who gave me life.
Hi.
Hi. This is my mom. What do you want to be called? Do you want to, what are you, Mama-Beth?
Mom-Beth, Nina, Manor.
Yeah.
Whoa.
She has a lot of, she's the grandma of many names. Each kid, it started with my oldest nephew who called you
Manor.
Where did that come from?
Just the name he came up with.
Did it start out as like Mama or something? I feel like it used to be Mama.
Never to him. Okay,
well, it was Manor, and then that kind of passed down to his younger brother, right?
He always called me Mama.
He did?
Brennan?
So he calls you a different name?
Yeah, he calls me that or John Cena.
John Cena, okay.
Yeah, well, it's a long story.
Yeah, and then...
other one called me Whoa because of a song.
Yeah.
And
then what do
Riker Nova called me Mama.
Mama, okay.
And then Leo calls me Nina.
But you used to be Nana.
Right.
It started out as Nana, and then somewhere along the line, she switched it to Nina, which I think is way cuter. It's super cute.
Right.
So, I don't know. But yeah, anyways.
It works fine and dandy unless you get them all together and you're going, what?
Yeah.
Who am I?
Yeah. And I've always just called you Mama. And then there was a point in time when we called you Matib. You remember from the Atlantis movie? Because their mother was called, she's like, Matib. Anybody have that reference?
I still get a text from John that he says that.
Yeah, Matib. Or
Ma from Little House on the Prairie.
Ma from Little House on the Prairie. Or I'm trying to think of the one. There was another show. I just lost it.
Little Women.
Little Women. That's what I'm thinking. What do they call her?
Marmee.
Marmee. Yep, we called you Marmee too. Yep, you have a lot of names.
Right.
Yeah, that's awesome. But I like to call you I call you Ma. I feel like most of the time, Ma, Mom, right?
Yeah, you can call me anything.
Yeah, but this is Mom. You can call her Mama-Beth. And do you want to tell like just a little bit about like who you are and like?
Let's see. Well, I'm Ilea's mother, but she's our youngest. And we have 7 kids. Bobby, Jacob, Brittany, Stephanie, Jonathan, Tabitha, and Ilea.
The favorite. Stopped at perfection. 7, the number of perfection.
That was the number that God chose for us, I believe.
Yeah.
So, and we're happy with it, thankful.
Yeah. Listen, I'm thankful you had 7 kids because otherwise I would not be here. So I appreciate that. But the reason I have you on today, hold on. Sorry, Mom. I just flashed my nipple too. You okay? Too much for you? You panicking? Hi. You all done? Sorry, I'll blur all this out at the bottom. This is Miles' probably like 6th podcast or something.
Wow, he's so famous.
He's so like he's a pro. He's like, these lights are so bright, so obnoxious. But I asked you on today because in today's climate where it's like super expensive to live, you raised, I mean, it was expensive back then too, I'm sure. Like, I'm sure you guys had that same thought of like, inflation. Did you guys talk about inflation back then? Or were you just like...
I don't know if the word was inflation, but we, cost of living.
Yeah, cost of living.
Excuse me.
Well, I just wanted to talk to my mom about how she stretched the dollar when she was raising 7 kids at home, and my dad was working as a pastor and like construction when he wasn't being a pastor. So, I wanted to talk about like tips on how to, is it budget or tips on how to expand meals? Just because I think a lot of families are feeling the pinch because we're just a family of 4, and God has blessed David very well, and he makes a good living. But even us, like, there are certain things I'm like, that's not in the budget. Like, it's not in the budget this month. And I can't imagine if like you had 7 kids if this time of like cost of living.
Right.
Like, it's just, so I'm just thinking about those big families and what we can do. And we got a message of like, how do you guys like afford to eat organic? And we didn't eat organic. And that's because it wasn't really a thing back then.
No, I mean, it wasn't. We when we first got married, and then for a little while, I taught school. And then we made the decision that we would homeschool. And back then that wasn't popular.
Yeah.
And that I'd be a stay-at-home mom. So I knew that, we knew that we had to work that out, because it's not that extra income back, and that wasn't as popular back then, I don't think.
To do homeschool?
Well, homeschooling wasn't popular. They didn't have all the things that they have now.
Why did you guys decide to homeschool?
Really felt like God laid it on our heart to get our that was the grandson, not me.
Miles just filled his drawers.
So anyway, that was just something that God laid on our heart, and we didn't know anybody that homeschooled.
Really? So how did it get, how did you even know it existed?
At that time, we got to know people.
Yeah, but how did you hear it at church? Or did you how did you guys even know that it was an option to not send your kids to school?
I think more reading books. Then we went to some conferences. And just, then my sister ended up homeschooling, and she lived in another state. And other sister.
Which sister is this?
Well, Patty did.
Patty started the homeschooling train?
About the same time we did, because our oldest are the same age.
Oh, okay.
So it was just starting to trend.
Okay.
We did not. We didn't have Google to go look stuff up. We didn't. I went to public school and a private Christian school, and it was just something I didn't want for our kid. We didn't want for our kids.
Why? What did you see what year were you in school? So what did you see in the early, 60s and 70s?
It wasn't that bad then, I feel like, but maybe my parents did. But I remember being in high school, and one of the teachers said, God to me is what he spells backwards. He's a dog. Oh. And I remember hearing that thinking, oh my goodness. And then it was starting to, and that would have been my freshman year in high school.
Had they already taken the Bible out of schools then? Or is that something that happened in the 2000s? I can't remember.
I don't remember it in high school. Then in my sophomore year, we went to Christian school.
Guys, this is real motherhood podcast, because I'm going to change this diaper on camera while I'm still talking to you. So continue on.
Okay. Yeah. So then we went to Christian school, which was a big sacrifice for my parents. Because it was expensive. And I really liked my sophomore.
So it wasn't, the Christian school didn't say that about.
No. It was the public school. Right. And then it was just, went to their school there. And then there was a lot of things. I remember being in the Christian school. There was a lot of great stuff. There really was. But I remember being invited to a birthday party. And to me, a birthday party was, your mom and dad's there and all that stuff. That the party ended up not being what.
Oh, it was from a Christian school?
Yeah. Okay. So it was not, and I have a friend that I don't see her often, but we talk about that how we were together, and we could have messed our lives up really bad that night, but God protected us. And were we perfect? No, but I feel like God protected us. So anyway, we started homeschool. So then, the one thing for sure about providing food, I know God shall supply all our needs.
Right.
But also it's not like you sit around and just wait for it. Yeah. So my husband worked really hard to make sure we had food.
Yeah.
And
not worked hard just at the day job. He would not sleep.
Yes.
Very much I know. To go work third shift. I wouldn't say third shift. He would do construction. I remember him remodeling a bank overnight, and then he would work at the church, and so and
then he built homes.
Yeah.
He did historical houses that needed. He was qualified at that time, I believe, to do historic
remodels,
restoration. Yeah. So he had a lot. He was he is a jack of many trades and very good at it.
Very talented, very smart man.
And both of you are. We always teased
You're
about.
You're not a man though. You proved it. You put 7 kids.
Put a little bit more water in the soup. We always teased about. But
then tell me okay.
And I found out that's what my mom said, and I didn't know that. My sister, when I said to told my sister about this. She said, well, Mom always said that same thing. Put a little bit more water in the pot. Because we never knew who was going to be at our house.
Yeah.
There was kids.
That was our house too.
No, I'm talking about our house too.
Oh, yeah.
Our house. Yeah, and my parents growing up. Like, I would rather that, people come over to our house than you guys go over to somebody else's.
In hindsight, again, I think it's the biggest blessing. Nobody should comment on how their parents were until they are parents, because it's always the people without kids who are like, how dare parents do it this way? It's like, no, shut your mouth. And I say this as someone who was maybe not judgmental of you, but just judgmental of other parents. I'm like, you don't like your dog after having kids? How dare you? And now I'm like, get this dog out of my house. Like, how can I get rid of this dog? But like, you just don't know until you know whether it's like, I always said I would never homeschool. And now I'm like, nope. Like I will never send my kid to public school. Like hell or high water. Like whatever it is, like we're not, what's the saying? Why would you send your kids to Caesar and not expect them to come back Romans? Oh, that's good. It's like, I'm not, no way. The things they're teaching, the teachers they hire, the LGBTQIA, BCDFG, like all that stuff. I'm like, no, I'm not going to. And yes, like I'm going to raise my kids with a Christian worldview without apologizing. Right. Because like a lot of people are like, oh, you're sheltering your kids. It's like, yeah, because you're crazy. And it's my job to shelter them. It's like literally a part of my job description as a parent to protect them. Right. I would rather you be protected. Yeah. And think about it is you guys were always busy. I don't know if you remember, like church stuff, library stuff, because the kids, we did like reading programs. The older kids were on the board of the library in Oklahoma, and they're the ones that they did schedule people to speak at the like during like once a month they had a meeting, and it wasn't just homeschool kids that came there; it was public school too. But it was just. Well, then let's back up then. So. Let's just clarify some things. You have 7 kids, and we're only 11 years apart. Right. Even having one kid, it opens your eyes to it opened my eyes to what you did for us as a family. Because I'm like, you're telling me like you had basically Irish twins, right? So Jacob was born then a year and 19 days after Bobby. Like, so at 3 months, that was like me getting pregnant right now. I'm sorry, but shoot me in the face. No, I couldn't. You're just incredibly tough. I don't know how you're that tough. I don't know if it was tough, but when we were dating, we both said, because we both came from, he had, there was 9 in their family and we had 7 in ours. And, we liked having a large family. Yeah. And, I don't go up to people and say, why do you have only one child, or why don't you have children? That's not my business. Yeah. Oh, but they'll gladly say, why do you have 7 kids? I remember. Why is it that people are so. Years later, when I worked another, after I started working a secular job, after your kids were bigger or older, this woman would say to me all the time, I can't believe, there's just criticize us having so many kids. And finally, I just looked at her and I said, I don't criticize that you only have one. God gave them to us, and that's our decision. And she never said anything else again, and she just, we were glad, Yeah. And you wanted 12. Right. Right. And then went to the doctor after, I was probably 40, so I had you at 34. And we were just talking. Which I remember you saying that and thinking like, oh, wow, that's so old. And now I'm like about to turn 33. And I'm like, that's not old at all. Oh, people thought I was really old at 34, having a baby. But anyway, went to the doctor and I hadn't gotten pregnant in all those years. And she said, well, we can do a lot of tests if you want to, or you could accept it as God's way of stopping your children, because, you believed he would bring them and he can stop them. And I said, no, we're fine. Was she a Christian doctor? Yes, she was. And were you okay with that? I was. Or were you sad? Oh, I was sad, yeah. But, like you said, we were big. Perfection. No. Or the one that like finally broke you and you're like, oh my gosh, I can't have any more. No, you were a good baby. You really were. Yeah, pretty easy going. And then Dad was working a lot to provide, working his butt off. And then you were working hard at home, raising all the kids. What are And like we weren't rich by any means.
No.
I think we were rich in other ways. Like we were rich in like being protected from secular things, which I hated at the time. I was like, this is crazy. It's like I want to listen to rock music. And then now I'm like, we can't listen to that. Like that's terrible lyrics. That's like immoral and awful. But what did you do to like stretch your grocery budget? Like how did you feed all of us with like?
Well, we there was no gluten. If there was gluten free, I didn't know anything about it or anything.
Yeah, no.
We we had a lot of pasta.
Yeah, you should know, like nobody knew what the food industry was doing. Like it's only like now because the internet that like we can make better choices, like even on a budget, which maybe that's a video I should do of like there's like the good, better, best. Like what's the best? Okay, well even sometimes I'm like I just have to go for what's good.
Right.
Because like that's all we can afford. Like
right.
But
and we tried to have nutritional meals as much as we could, vegetables, fruit, like there was usually a hamburger with pasta. Breakfast was usually oatmeal, eggs. If we were like, I remember what time when Aldi had, I don't know how much the bread is.
I didn't realize Aldi was around back then.
It was, and it was a quarter a loaf.
Oh, nice.
And so you figure you make French toast, and I used to make my own syrup. So
what do you mean you used to make your own
syrup? It was what my mom did. You take vanilla and of course sugar, which you only needed, and water, and that was this,
Okay.
But then, you just did what you.
I mean, that's a way that you stretch the dollar. Is you made it from scratch instead of buying the syrup.
And I remember one time it was after a birthday party, and that we'd had, like we didn't have like big fancy birthday parties. It was cake, ice cream, and us. But like maybe a day or so later, you guys woke up, I don't know, and we decided to have a leftover party for breakfast, and somebody had told somebody about it. Oh yeah, we had cake and ice cream for breakfast. So somebody thought the kids were from church goes, oh, maybe they need, some food because the kids are only eating cake and they only had cake and ice cream. No, it wasn't only cake and ice cream. It was just,
it was a special occasion.
It was just a special occasion, and that's what we had, you know. But we didn't do that all the time, but it was just like.
I feel like it never fails. That happened like one time. I made brownies that were like healthy. They were like of avocado, cocoa powder. The sweetener was maple syrup. And so when Leo asked for a brownie for breakfast, I was like, I mean, this is all good ingredients. Like, yes, you can have a brownie for breakfast. And then someone was like, what'd you have for breakfast? And she was like, I had brownies. And I'm like, of course, but we don't eat regular brownies.
Yeah. It's different.
It's different. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but usually it was like oatmeal. Rice was another thing you guys liked for breakfast. Of course, Leah had her cinnamon toast specialty.
Yeah, which is ironic because it's all the things I don't eat now. I mean, sourdough maybe, but like tell me what that what was my invention?
Well, you thought you invented.
Yeah, I thought
toast. You would toast it, then put butter on it, and then put sugar and cinnamon on it,
and then put more butter.
More
sugar, and it made it like a.
Did you bake it after that? You were really little, but I remember my father-in-law and mother-in-law come to visit, and you made it for him, and he said, "I traveled how many hundreds of miles, and this is what I eat." He's a diabetic,
Yeah, sorry about that,
but
Grandpa.
He did. He loved it because you made it for him.
And I think I served it to him on like with my princess dress on.
Right? Yeah, I think we have a picture.
We have a picture of it. Yeah, and my poor diabetic grandfather just eating like sugar and butter and on toast. Poor guy. Sorry.
And we had a lot of.
Maybe I'll make that for myself with sourdough, but like cleaner ingredients.
Right, you probably could do it. Because I had a good example from my mom having 7 kids and raising those, and then my mother-in-law, her meals. I even when you asked me to do this, I text all the kids and asked what meals they could remember. A lot of them was like goulash.
What is goulash, and how did you make it work for such a large family?
Not as much hamburger as everybody else would put in it. Just maybe. I don't know if it was a pound or not, and then a lot of noodles, tomatoes. Yeah. Stuff like that, but there was a time when we lived in Oklahoma, there was a really nice farmer, or, the family in the church, and they they would give us some beef. So we thought we were like living high on the cow instead of on the dog. And yeah, sometimes he would slip like the tongue of the cow wrapped in something else. And then he thought it was so funny if I opened up the package and there would be a tongue and I'd be like, ugh.
Yeah. Some people, I mean, it's a delicacy in some cultures. I have like 4 cow tongues down in the freezer that like I should do something with, but like I'm a little icked out by it. I'm like, I will eat I will blend up the heart. I will blend up the liver and the kidneys and put them in a pate and then just sneak them into our like ground beef, like everything. But like, I don't know about the tongue, man. I don't know.
No, I couldn't.
People say like nose to tail. I even have oxtail down there, which I would, no problem, put oxtail like to make a stock or something.
I don't know.
You know, but like, I don't know about that tongue, man.
No.
I don't know about that.
It didn't look good.
Yeah.
What do you think, Miles? No.
Hi. Liver will probably be his first food.
You think?
I think liver pate or like a whipped marrow is kind of my plan. But anyways, so, which like,
well, we never starved.
No.
Today's sponsor is Good. That's the label. Good. This one is for mamas, especially as you're nursing or pregnant. It's very good for you, very bioavailable, doesn't make you want to vomit after you take it. You know, those like horse pills of other prenatals. Yeah, this isn't like that, but it doesn't make you feel pukey after you don't have to really eat to take them. You're not going to barf everywhere. At least that's my experience. Your tummy might be different, but give it a try. Go to goodthings.com and use code, hold on, let me put my nipple in my child's mouth. Go to goodthings.com and use code UTS15 for 15% off. It'll be your favorite prenatal. Like I almost guarantee it. I'm not gonna guarantee it, but like I almost guarantee it. So check it out.
We every once in a while we would get it was a big deal if Dad got Little Caesar's pizza.
Oh, I remember.
What was it? $4 a pizza then, or maybe $5?
Maybe even less. Like
it was like that was living high off the hog.
Or I mean, and this tells you, like I think also McDonald's was different then, but there was like 49-cent. Wednesday had like 49-cent burgers. Do you remember? And then on Wednesdays, Dad would sometimes bring home 49-cent burgers, which was 49 cents.
I can't remember eating at McDonald's. It's just not.
We never did McDonald's like. We never did Happy Meals. We didn't do. I think that's maybe the thing that's true now that was true then. Is like, hey, like you just eat at home,
right?
Which is not like a big deal. Like it's a big deal to people. They're like, why you can't eat out? Or like we don't get coffee out. We don't eat out. Like it's almost. I would say arguably. Now Dave is a little different story because he works at corporate America and sometimes lunches, like with teammates, happen out. But most of the time that's covered by the company. But like, it is definitely like maybe every 3 months that we go out to eat, like out to eat, including like a Culver's, which is like our kind of like the lowest bar we would go eat.
Yeah, I could see that.
But still, it's like $50 for us to go out and like,
and you can eat
just
so
go through
many
a drive-through.
meals.
Yeah,
right. Because
that's the point we got to with like even Chick-fil-A and I know Chick-fil-A doesn't have like the greatest ingredients and whatever, but we would go out and for the 3 of us to eat, like me, Dave, Leo, it's like $40. And I'm like, this is ridiculous. For $40, I could go to the grocery store and make us like at least 5 meals.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, this is not it.
And I don't know, I didn't feel deprived that we didn't go out to eat.
No, no, it was always like such a delight. It was like, oh, we're eating somewhere else. Like whether it was a pizza joint in Oklahoma where I grew up called Mazzio's, and we would go there sometimes on Sundays. And like, I remember eating the salad bar, and I think someone came up and asked you how you got me to eat salad.
Yeah, they used to say, boy, your kids, they really, and you guys just loved it. You love salads.
I never remember like y'all making it a big deal, like eat your salad. Yeah. It was just like, that sounded, oh, sorry, buddy. That sounded good. Mm-hmm. But yeah, how else? What other meals? You made I told you sauerkraut and dumplings.
Oh, that's a good one. That's my mother-in-law's recipe.
Yeah.
With just eggs and flour and milk, kraut. And then if it was, sometimes brats.
Yeah.
Was more expensive, or kielbasa, depending on what the price of it was.
Yeah.
And then like casseroles, you know, unfortunately, cream of chicken soup and stuff. You know?
No,
you know what I mean?
Don't be ashamed.
No, I'm just saying, you know, you did a lot of casserole, which, you know, some good stuff that we knew and that we ate.
Okay.
We weren't like, we ate separate. I don't remember having, like, maybe we had popcorn as snacks.
Yeah. I think that's where a lot of people these days, they're like, how do you make a small budget work? It's like, we don't really get chips. Chips are like a luxury. Like,
Right.
And I try to like stick to like a certain number for our budget. But like chips and snacks and things that are easy to grab and go, like those are a luxury. Like we don't really buy those, like to try to keep our budget lower, right? Like,
Right. Do you remember we used to get a box of chips from Grandma
Oh yeah, I remember that.
and Farmington chips?
Yeah.
And that would be a big deal. But I can't, you know, to go buy was rare. Maybe birthday party time.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, and I think we just snack more as a culture now than like, I don't remember eating so much. Like it was like you ate at mealtime.
Right.
And then that was kind of it. And that's okay. Because I
Right.
think a lot of like the whole snack culture, like you need this prepackaged snack so your kid can eat quick. And it's like, or just make them like kind of fast just a little before and wait for dinner and practice patience and all those things.
Right.
Like, oh, hold on. Dude will latch onto anything. So he'll just latch onto like boob skin. And I'm like, damn, that's just a boob and that hurts.
He's going to love watching this when he's older.
He's going to be like,
Thanks, Mom.
yeah, I'm terrified. But
He's a good baby.
yeah. What else?
Meal-wise?
Yeah, anything meal wise, or even like budget wise. Did you shop only sales? Did you have like a rhythm to it?
Sometimes when you guys were all young, I would give your dad a list.
Yeah,
And he would get it on the way home from work because we had one car
yeah,
and to get all the babies out. Sometimes we did. And there's times I went by myself with you guys. That's the time I lost Jonathan. Remember one time at Walmart?
you did.
Yeah. I mean, just for a minute, but it was awful.
Where was he?
Well, he went back in Walmart as we were leaving because he did the right thing. He went out and said, man, you know, poor guy.
How old was he?
Oh, probably 3. Yeah.
Poor guy.
Yeah. Bless his heart. Anyway, but no, I just, we'd make a grocery list, know that we need this hamburger, we need, you know, or chicken and, you know,
That's probably the biggest thing is like have a list and stick to it.
Yeah.
Because like,
And don't be hungry when you go to
hungry. Yep. That's my, and I feel like I say if my kids go with me almost every time I go grocery shopping, but I have 2, you had 7. So, and very,
But there came a time when there was somebody old enough that
to
they all
stay.
didn't go,
Yeah.
you know, so.
but like I make sure Leo's fed and I'm fed. That way, like when we go through, it's not like, oh yeah, look at that snack.
Right,
And,
right. And there was Aldi. We shopped at Walmart too.
I also remember, and I think it's a positive thing because I've kind of adapted it now. Because when I first started staying home, I was like, I felt like I had to reinvent the wheel every night to like make a meal. And I'm like, I feel like I'm staying home, so I should probably make it like food really, really interesting. And then like now that I've kind of been here for getting a little bit more confident in my like homemaking, providing meals skill, that like I don't have to reinvent the wheel. We have like 10, 15 dinners that I know and I pull from. Whenever I make them, I make double. And then I freeze one and then I can pull it out and then save my
That's a
time
good idea.
later.
Right.
Or even like lunches and stuff like that. I'm like, it doesn't have to be, I don't know. I just felt like I had to have like a whole bunch of variety. And variety is good for like nutrient profile.
Right.
But it's not all that practical in every season of life. And sometimes it's okay to just.
Yeah, because looking back, probably we had the basics, you know, and I don't know if you remember when you guys would start, okay, you get to cook a meal.
No, I
Come
don't
up with
remember. What did I cook? Probably sugar and
No, that was probably I don't know. I remember Tabby's
pasta, chicken Alfredo.
chicken Alfredo.
Yeah.
But everybody had like, you know, even, or like if we had church dinners. Now that was hard sometimes when we'd have a church dinner and it took a lot of our budget that we would cook meals for to help. Because it was a small church.
Yeah.
And then
then did you guys cover most of the meal part?
a lot of it at the beginning. But then
Then people started.
you know, Tina Gibson was great about helping, you know, and I miss my friend Tina. Yeah. Anyway,
How did you stretch the budget when you had to like give extra to the church?
prayed a lot, you know, and I mean that was only a short time because then the church got bigger and people realized that hey, you know, it can't be just you know,
pastor pouring out all the time.
So then every one of you guys would make something like you know, and we just you know do it. I don't know. I feel like you know when you're going through it. I mean, I remember praying as grocery shopping and saying, "Oh God, please help me," or helping me with meals and. Anyway, you know, but then it was just a thing you did, you know. We never starved. I'm sorry, he's so cute. Hi.
He's cooing at his knee now.
Yeah. But yeah, like you say, I feel like we always had somebody over. Did you? I mean, or a lot.
Yeah.
Even more so, even when we went to Florida, it seemed like there was always somebody from the Jake's band or.
Well, when you have that many kids, somebody's going to bring a straggler home.
And that's fine. I remember when one of our nephews moved to Florida and I told him, I said, you know, either we've just eating, you know, just eating, you're welcome, you come with just eating, or we have food and leftovers in the fridge, or I'm going to be cooking, you know, whatever, and you're always welcome to come. And he did, you know, and that was good, you know, I liked it.
Yeah, I did like our open door policy. You also made a lot of chilies, like
chili. That was a good one.
That's something you can stretch really far. Like I've found, like
have chili and then do chili dogs.
That's a good idea.
Like kind of let it last out.
I haven't had a chili. Now I want a chili dog.
Yeah, good stuff.
Honestly, like if you're gonna eat bread and you can do, if you can do bread like sourdough. Like you can get so much more bread if you just make it yourself at home. And it's so much better for you, even if it's not organic. Like even if you just get bread flour and then get like a sourdough starter, fermenting it will help with like the nutrient profile. But you'll learn a skill and you won't be getting the preservatives. So it'll be healthy and cheap and like, I don't know. Yeah.
Chili mac was another thing too. I forgot about that. Yeah,
it's like mac and cheese with chili on top. I forgot all about that. Oh my gosh!
Kind of stretch it out because a big pot of chili. Yeah, you know. That sounds really good.
I have chili. You can have some. No, I seriously do. I made it for the other night, which like I was making for a group, so I made a whole big pot of chili. And if I would have had time, I would have done. I have like dry kidney beans, which are so much cheaper. I mean, I don't know if you had this. Well, yeah, you'd have them in the store, like the bags of dry beans.
I do that still.
Yeah, you do dry beans still? Teach me how to make it to where it doesn't make me tooty.
Put a little bit of baking soda in it.
Okay. All right, good to know.
I don't know if that's medically safe, but I think that's what...
Yeah, I mean, I sprinkle baking soda in my water sometimes.
Beans and cornbread, had a lot of that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Beans and cornbread. And I feel like I remember like you would do like a ham bone in it or something.
Right, like what's left over from it. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Just get the...
I feel like there was not much waste happening.
I don't think so. I feel like
you were really good at repurposing. Like if we had a ham, you would then save the thing and make beans and cornbread and it would be like in a ham bone.
Right. And then eventually, you know, be all used up.
Yeah.
You know?
And then cornbread, like, and I remember even sometimes for breakfast having like eggs and cornbread, like the next day with like butter and it was just delicious. I love cornbread. Yeah.
Eggs goldenrod. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I remember. Tell people what that is, because like not everybody has. Is that like an Irish dish?
I don't think it's Irish. I don't know what it is. It's you just have boiled eggs, and then you make a white sauce with butter and flour and milk, and then you add those eggs and serve it over.
It makes like a gravy.
Like a gravy,
and then you serve it over biscuits.
Right, but it's not. You don't use the oil to make like lard making.
Right.
It's butter to make the gravy.
Yeah.
So it has just a good taste.
Yeah, it is. I want it.
I know. I haven't had that in a long time.
And you would, for a long time, I remember you making the biscuits. You used to make the biscuits. Then at some point when like the Bisquick came out with the cans, we started switching to the cans, which were never as good as your biscuits.
Oh, that's sweet.
I remember being like, these biscuits aren't as good. but I get it.
Yeah.
That like, as someone who
But they're not cheap now though.
No, they're not. That's the thing is like, it used to be like, oh, to save myself time, like it's so cheap just to get the biscuits pre-made. Now to get like a can of biscuits is like $6 for like terrible ingredients. So then you can just buy a thing of flour for $6, go home, make hundreds of biscuits. Dozens, I should say.
Yeah,
you know,
you buy hundreds, I'm coming for sure.
Well, I shop at Costco, so I sometimes have to like dial back my verbiage because I buy in bulk. So like when I buy flour, I buy like, you know, for the month.
Which we did. We bought, and you know, well, we did. There was a time when we had in Florida, we had BJ's, which was like a Sam's or like a Costco. So you had the, you know, bigger, you know, and there's times there was a time in probably when just Bobby and Jacob, maybe Brett were young, that there was a lady in the church that had goats. And, you know, that's where we got our goat milk.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, and it was great.
I want goats for goat milk.
And then, you know, just things like that. God always had a way to work it out, but something we needed because Jake was lactose intolerant and the goat's milk helped him.
Yeah.
I don't know.
He's not lactose intolerant anymore. You know, goat's milk has been linked to like helping reverse the big A, you know?
Oh, okay.
So,
interesting.
Helping to like, like bad gut problems. There's actually a gal not too far from here. I met at a party and she was like, yeah, I reversed all of my autoimmune diseases by just raising my own goats and milking them and drinking the milk.
Interesting.
I was like, interesting. So I want to talk to her.
Well, we never
actually, you know what I should do? I should find her and interview her.
That would be interesting because you know, I never had to milk a goat, but
it's hard to balance because like we could have a goat and we could milk it, but I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm milking myself right now, like like nursing a kid,
right?
So I'm like, I have to like know my season. Like, what can I actually reasonably do? But
right.
What else did you do to help? Stretch. Did you ever grow food? I can't remember.
There's times I wasn't like the great gardener like you were.
I'm not a great
gardener.
Just trying.
I remember Jonathan and I trying to grow watermelons and they would not. They never got. I'd get like that big and then but the soil was not good for where we lived. We really wanted, because I love watermelon.
Oh yeah.
You know, but there was times, but like maybe tomatoes, you know.
Yeah.
Bill's parents always had a garden, so that was nice if we lived near them. My dad could feed the world with his garden. You know, of course, by the time you remember me, he already had Alzheimer's, and you know, but he always had. You know, my mom canned. I wish, you know, that's a good thing, canning, but it's a big thing too. Yeah, you know, I mean, I helped with it, but I mean, I never have done it on my own. But
well, you can help me this year and you can learn how to can.
Learn how, you know.
Because, I mean.
But we did a lot of breaking of the beans and, you know, there's some.
You can get back to it. You can come here and break our
beans. Shuck that corn, I tell you. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. We're gonna have corn and beans. I actually need to order our seeds and start some. But like, just like we're talking about this whole budget thing, we had both of our cars kind of go down at the same time, and one car to get it fixed. I mean, we still, with parts, I think Dave spent like $1,200 onto the truck, and that's just the parts he had to get. I think that was parts, and then like he didn't have whatever press he needed to fix the thing, so he paid a mechanic to do the pressing, whatever, and that's like $1,200. And then our van that we got not that long, I think a year ago, with the cold temperatures, it snapped some of the, like a plastic part that freaking manufacturers are trying to make things cheaper and not do like aluminum or steel or whatever. And so they put a plastic part in that is known to shatter in cold temperatures. And by the grace of God, Dave like suddenly was like, we have to go get an oil change. He was like, and we were over, but we've been over many, many times where we don't go. And then we took it in and they were like, you have no oil in here. It like something cracked and it's not working. And so Dave is right now over at his parents fixing it. And it's just like, it's just in times when things are like, and then that was, I think, $2,200 to fix.
Oh, wow.
But the part was $200.
So he did it himself.
Yeah. So he was like, so he went and bought the $200 part. That's why he fixed the truck, because it was going to be like $8,000 to fix it. And so he's like, well, I'd rather spend, $2,000 to fix it myself, because we don't want car payment. We don't want,
right.
Like, we are not the people who are buying and like we didn't have fancy cars. We had a huge blue 15 passenger van.
Yes.
And then I remember a burgundy station wagon, which is still my goal car.
I love
want
that.
I want that car. We got rid of it.
Yes.
Darn, I was kind of hoping it was somewhere, but it's just
we didn't have a car payment. Usually, if we bought a car, we saved. I mean, like
bought it for cash.
Bought it for cash. Like our microwave, which I don't recommend, microwaves now, but when we got one, we saved and saved and saved, set it aside, and then went and bought one because they weren't cheap like they were.
They are now.
They are now, and that's the thing about it is if we wanted something, we set it aside and saved.
Yeah.
Or Bill would have a big job, and he'd say, with this job, when I get paid, we're going to get this, or whatever.
I think what is beautiful about the generation, like when you were raising babies versus the generation now, is that like for good and for bad, we have the internet where like, and digital currency and credit cards and things where people are like, I'm just going to buy it online and have it shipped to the house. And there isn't that delayed gratification of like, okay, we want a microwave. Again, we don't have a microwave now. Like we actively got rid of our microwave, but that was a different time. We didn't know that like, then you guys had to be intentional of like, okay, if I can cut corners here, save here, and then we can get the thing. Versus now, I feel like, obviously, clearly, America is in super bad debt. People just go into debt for like just random crap on Amazon for no reason, and they don't actually have that like delayed gratification feeling of like, oh, I'm sacrificing something to save money for this thing. I don't know. I think what's amazing is like when people are like, how do we save money on groceries? Like, how do we eat healthy and save money on groceries? I can really tell when somebody hasn't been poor.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, you've never like love my husband. He's amazing, but he's never really experienced like having 7 kids in a house and like being like, hey, like it will be okay. Like God will provide. This will be fine. Like it's not a big deal. So like, I think he's like got secondhand unwavering faith for me because I'm like, it'll work out. He's like, oh my gosh, our car's gonna be like $8,000 to fix. I'm like, it'll be okay. We'll figure it out. And he's like, but like, what about all the plans? Like I was like, we're not gonna take it to the dealer. I was like, you'll figure it out. And he's very good. He is very good at like, he's like, okay, I'll watch YouTube videos and figure it out. Not that I'm like forcing him to do it, but like he's like, I'm like, hey, you know what you do when you're poor? You figure it out yourself.
Figure it out,
you know? And like, I don't know how to cook great, but I have YouTube and I will figure it out and we will make things from scratch. And I don't know how to garden, but we have YouTube. Right. Y'all didn't have YouTube.
No, I remember I love to read, so I looked a lot on books and had, information.
Went to libraries, yeah.
I know one time, since YouTube and you guys were grown, my car wouldn't go into reverse. Not the car I have now, but a car before. So I was sitting in the parking lot and I looked it up on YouTube what was wrong, and you had to have a pencil to stick it in because something was missing. You had to still end up going get fixed, but still.
But you were able to get out of the spot.
Able to back up because it some kind of spring had broken or something. Anyway, my husband said, "What?" I said, "Well, it was on YouTube."
Resourceful.
So, yeah.
Yeah, good for you.
Thankfully, it worked that time, but it doesn't always. But yeah, and I think there wasn't the peer pressure around of like, oh, I've got to have steak every meal. Or I don't know if there's that peer pressures now.
I think rich influencers who don't have kids are like, you have to eat this meal to have optimal health, which I think people have gotten to a point in crunchy, healthy culture where they're like idolizing what they eat all the time. And it's like, relax. Like, I do think every meal should be nutritious, and we always have a protein, a fat, and a carb. Like usually we try to make the protein and the fat higher than the carb, but it depends on. Like, I tried to not, go to the store every week. I'll go like every 2.5, 3 weeks, and so like I try to like wipe out the cabinets so that we can then start fresh.
Right, that's a good idea.
Because then otherwise, like things that you don't really reach for just kind of like build up, and it's like, no, I bought this. We're gonna use it. I kind of lost my train of thought, but yeah.
We always, like having, like now, even in my cabinet, I've got black beans. I've got, in the freezer we've got stuff. Just like, if I need to, but back then, like I said, the farmer helped with the cow. That was probably for long we lived in Oklahoma. So that was nice. That was, took off a lot of the bill, but
I think if they can budget correctly, like it is a little bit cheaper to buy directly from the farmer than to just get like a couple pounds at a time.
It is
from the grocery store. And like there's that security of like, oh, I know, like I have a quarter of a cow in my freezer and I can do that. And
I can put a roast on.
Yep.
Which that was a meal that was like every one of the kids that I text about meals, they said roast with potatoes and carrots and
and like potato. Again, what you can pick good, better, or best. And so like for us in this season where like things are just, it feels like just things are expensive. Like cars are always breaking. Our like home, there's things that have to be like repaired. Freaking power companies just taking way advantage of prices and stuff. Like, and so I would love, like right now, like I got my organic seed potatoes, which is just like a bag of potatoes from the grocery store, organic. But the potatoes that we're going to eat for the next couple of weeks, I got the non-organic because it's terrible, but they're bigger, and I'm just going to soak them in vinegar and then rinse them and then soak them in baking soda and then rinse them and then pray. Because I'm like, there's like, it's too expensive to get like a little bag of organic potatoes is like $7. I'm like, I'm not gonna like that. That's literally. Does everyone eat like baby birds? Like who can?
I don't know because it took a lot of potatoes to feed you guys.
Yeah,
but it was a filler, pasta, potatoes, which sounds really bad, but
no. I mean, I remember like stroganoff, like
beef stroganoff.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. What did we call that?
It was.
Beefy noodles.
Beefy noodles.
That's
what
beefy
it was.
Noodles. Yeah, that was one of.
So what was it? Just beef noodles and
cream of mushroom.
Cream of mushroom.
But you didn't like cream of mushroom, did you?
No, I still don't like mushrooms.
But you ate it.
Yeah. Well, that's a whole other topic. Like a lot of people make custom meals for their kids. Did you ever make custom meals for your kids?
They might get a special meal on their birthday. I mean, they get to pick the meal, but like.
You mean every night for dinner? You weren't like making a meal
I
individually?
Couldn't. No.
Do you have brain fog? Are you lethargic? Do you have digestion issues? Do you not poop enough? Are you pooping too much? Do you have angry outbursts? Does your butthole itch? Irene, does your butthole itch? Don't answer that. Don't answer.
I'm going to answer.
Well, if your butthole
No, I'm not
itches,
going to
what does
answer
that
that
mean?
question. That means you have a worm.
Or many worms.
Lots of worms.
And I know what you're thinking. Worms, are you kidding? That doesn't happen.
I've not left the country.
Yeah, it happens. Guys, like you can go touch the soil in your front yard and get worms from there. Like, because
if you have pets, they lick you.
We're disgusting, honestly. And like food, like produce, if it's not cleaned properly or if it's grown and like, they're everywhere. Yeah. So most cultures cleanse once a quarter.
Yeah.
So
deworm themselves all the time.
You gotta deworm yourself, and we have the perfect brand for you.
Yes. Roger's Hood is where we get all of our parasite things from. She has this kit. It gives you everything you need. It has 3 tinctures. There are...
And heavy metals, too.
Yep, pulls heavy metals out. It's so great.
Yeah.
I did it. I'll just say it. I did it, and the very first day that I started the tinctures, an 8-inch tapeworm came out of my butt.
8-inch.
So... And... I mean, I have left the country on like cruises, but it's all sanitary and everything's washed and they're there.
It's just life, and we have to just cleanse regularly. Yeah. So use our code UTSP10 and you won't regret it.
Yeah.
I remember a little girl coming to, we were watching them, and she got upset because I didn't put her sandwich in triangles, when I cut the sandwich, which is fine and dandy if her parents win it, but I had 7 plus 2 more kids there, and I just cut it in half or whatever in everybody's peanut butter and jelly sandwich. And so I found out that their mom, and that's fine if her mom and dad did, but I just didn't start you guys off that way. And I'm not saying it's bad, but.
Well, no, and that's something I think that we've gotten too out of control on is like asking our kids what they want when it doesn't, like, there's one thing of like building independence and then building like, a child who's expected to be catered to. you know?
Right.
Like that. Like
Right.
I remember that little girl like freaking out that like it wasn't a cut in a triangle and thinking like, I don't understand why this is a problem. Like,
And
what are
I
you
feel
talking
like
about?
we
We were grateful for the food we had, and we were like,
Right.
"This is what are you doing?"
And I feel like we made, we tried to make you feel special, and not only in food wise, but in
Well, you're right. Like, because I think in this culture where like people are obsessed with like making their kids feel special with food, like, oh, I make their favorite every night, and it's like nuggets, and it's just nuggets all the time.
gosh,
all these kids. Who
I don't know if I ever heard of nuggets. Were there back then? I don't know.
I don't know. Can I move this away from his brain?
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay. I put him there, so. But see how far he's scooched?
He really has.
Where you going?
He's going to have his own podcast.
Where you going? Here's this. You got it. You got it. We're almost done.
And Bill is not a picky eater.
No.
So, and he was always grateful for whatever we,
Yeah.
and he's a good cook too.
Yeah.
Right now we're on different schedules. He's on nights and I'm on days. So it's weird sometimes only on the weekend that we might
I know.
eat a
I
meal,
hate that.
but you do what you got to do.
Yeah.
And that's what life is,
Yeah.
But God's never failed us, and through it all, we never starved. There was one year that the job that Bill had set for the winter. Matter of fact, I was expecting you, and the job that he had lined up for the whole winter. The person that was in charge of it ran off with all the money, and so therefore,
Oh, buddy.
Bill's job
You okay?
was, it was canceled in the winter.
Jeez.
And, we never told people how rough it was, or how hard it was, And Bill made that's when he made the doll houses and
Because he had to buy the wood.
no, he didn't buy the wood. He had the wood.
Well, I'm saying like, didn't he have to pre-bought, like, wasn't he, he was hired for the job, but he like bought the wood for the job, but then didn't get reimbursed for the wood?
That might be. I don't remember that. I just remember he made you guys the dollhouse, the boys the barn, and me a microwave stand, which I end up using not as a microwave stand later, but it's really cute. And anyway,
Yeah.
but we never starved that winter, and nobody knew. And the grandparents, we just told them what would be, making that, and they added gifts that went with the barn and the, and you guys never knew, probably till you were older, what a rough winter that was. And then you were born, and it was such a blessing. You were healthy and nutritional.
Thanks.
I mean, I feel like
I was born with what? Club feet?
you're, clubfoot. Yeah,
Just one?
yeah.
Which one?
I feel like it was the right. I don't know.
I don't have any problems.
No, we had to do exercises, but
Was it, what caused it? Is it just like the way I was laying in the womb? And
could
just
be because you were long and 10 pounds 4 ounces. Not as big as this guy, but
I mean, 1 ounce.
you were 10 pounds 5 ounces. Tabby was 10.4.
I was 10.5?
you were. Yes.
Little buddy.
Yeah.
We were the same. Ouch. I was like, how did you keep having babies when they were all so damn big?
They just walked out.
Man. No, don't negate that it was hard. Like, right. Like, it was.
I really. Oh yeah, but through
You forget.
Yes.
Yeah.
And yeah.
But, like, how did you keep, like, so for me, I'll just be honest. Like, Leo was 9-10. He was 10-5. And I'm like, I don't know if I have a recovery. Like, it's, don't get me wrong. God, was definitely near through, like, the recovery. But, like, I'm like, just feeling normal again. And I'm like, I don't know if I can keep having kids. And if it's like,
Well, then that's your business. I mean, I'm not going to ever say, but
well, our goal was 4. And I'm like, oh man,
I had really
so hard.
I mean, I'm not saying it didn't hurt, but I had good labors. I mean, good. I think back, I probably, I don't know. I always figured I said
You
there
had
was.
like no chance to, like Dad didn't have paternity leave, so you
No,
weren't.
no,
so it
no.
was just you. So like I fully recognized that like my postpartum was probably way easier than yours because you had to like get back up and feed kids.
That's true. But you guys, by that time, some were
Helpful.
helpful. I mean,
Well, even now, like Leo's a super big help. I'm like, can you grab a diaper and some wipes?
Right.
And then she's joyful about
being a big
being
help.
involved.
Right.
But yeah. Anyways, any other tips that you have for like watering down, keeping it simple?
Yeah, we were pretty simple. But then, like there were, it's not like it was.
I don't remember I remember when we got older, like we would have like Oreos in the house, but like we didn't have just like random snacks like Oreos in the house until like
Which we
later.
made chocolate chip cookies a lot. Do you remember that?
I want to make some.
And that kind of things. Birthdays were, whatever cake you wanted. And however, it was pretty simple, but I think
but it was special because you got to pick your cake.
Right. And we used to, it's kind of funny. And I know as it got older, but I remember when the older ones, like $15 was a big amount. And that's what we spent on their birthday present, or like they got to go pick the girls.
I think it should go back to that.
The girls would go pick out a Barbie or the boys, something tractor wise or whatever. Or,
I think that's good. It makes it special because we've clearly learned that more toys isn't making kids happier.
No.
And it's not making them more focused in play. And like I remember, and Leo does this really well because like we don't have an enormous amount of toys, but she uses her imagination. Like there's like little cloths that she had, just like square cotton cloths that are blank, like just one's pink, one's green, whatever. And they've been like maps that she'll roll up and be like, this is my map and there's nothing on it. She's like, this is my map to find the treasure. And I'm like, great, that's awesome. And then sometimes it's a swaddle for the baby. And like those were a quarter at a thrift store that I bought to use as rags in the kitchen that have now become hers. And I'm like, I remember playing with like your dish towels and like playing with just towels. And it was so fun. And I had toys, I had Barbies, I had things, but like I don't know. I feel like we got really complicated.
You guys used your imagination a lot, which was good, I think. Leo and I fished off the couch the other day.
With not like a fishing rod.
We didn't have a fishing rod, but boy, she was good. She caught catfish, and the dog was the whale, and we just had lots of fun, and it was good.
I think it was good. It was. I think people think like when maybe you're not rich that like you're kind of missing out. I think it actually kept our minds in that imagination state because all of us are very creative, and not to be like toot our own horns, but like there's kind of nothing we can't learn because like
you'll try
because we will try and we're not like, I don't know. We had the ability to like build and imagine and create from a very young age.
We used to come like the beginning of October, sometimes in September, I'd get all my material out and you guys would make your Halloween outfits.
Yeah.
Bobby loved to sew. She made, and then Britt, and they would crochet.
Well, and I was learning to sew at a very young age. Yeah. And so
one year Stephanie sewed her thumb or finger. Yeah. That was awful. I had to go to the emergency room.
She did?
Well, our doctor probably, because our doctor was... he's deceased now, but he was really good. Good doctor. But anyway, I don't remember which one. Bill had to take her because you probably a little guy. Yeah. But I mean, it's not like we didn't, but we couldn't get it out. Yeah. It wasn't like it was something.
Yeah.
But
something with us that we're. Hold on, let me get him.
Can I read something that I wrote in 2004?
Sure. Hold on, let me get him soup.
Okay. I just found it this morning, not on purpose either.
Okay, great. Go ahead.
Okay, I wrote this in 2004. What?
He goes,
he likes it, yeah. Because somebody said something about us having so many kids.
Oh, okay.
So what would you have been?
93. Okay.
11. Okay. So I wrote this because I would always write my feelings down in poetry or just in a journal. But looking through the world's eyes, what we have may not seem much. But when we look through eyes of love, we have more than you could touch. For God has blessed us gratefully with a family filled with love, and we know each child is special and a gift from God above. Things may seem important in a world that's filled with greed, but when I look around me, we have more than we could ever need. The world may think we're crazy and wonder how we can make it through, but we know that we are more than blessed when we look at each one of you. The satisfaction in my heart is more than words can say, yet I would never change it or have it any other way. I'd rather look through eyes of love than what the world thinks is best. For God has given us so much, and we are truly blessed.
I love it.
And I didn't mean to cry, but
Yeah.
we are. That's what all I could think of was, people thought we were crazy. And we probably were. That's probably what helped me a little bit crazy. That's what my sister and I
You
always
have to be a little bit crazy to make a change in your family.
Right.
Like to make an impact.
And
yeah.
my sister Juan and I would always say, well, yeah, it's just, a little bit crazy because she's got 8,
Yeah.
and she did it too.
And she was, I think, pregnant at her daughter's wedding, right?
Yeah. And her son is 21 now, and the daughter's 43 or 44 or something like that. So, I think you just have to look through a different eyes. It's a different set of eyes.
Yeah.
And it doesn't mean you can't be lazy about it. You can't be just say, okay, let the world or it's going to happen. But
I think in motherhood, it's such a gift to like pray for eyes to see all the like the little blessings of like, oh, like, yeah, maybe it's hard, but this season definitely won't last. Like it's going by really quick. And instead of harping on and like ruminating on like the negative things, all the things you don't have, like even sometimes Dave, like I'll have to like, I mean, we're edifying for each other. Cause like, he's like, oh, if we only had a barn, like that's gonna be good. I was like, well, someday we'll have a barn. I was like, but for right now, I was like, what a blessing that we have all of this. Like we have, the farm that we want to raise our kids on. Like most people can't say that in these days. Like I'm like, this is we have, like God has been really good to us. And this is enough for me right now. Cause he, bless his heart, he's a provider and he wants everything to be perfect right now. He's like, I want you to have like a beautiful house, all these things. I'm like,
this is a beautiful house.
This is a beautiful house. I was like, we picked this house and we moved from our old house because I didn't want to work. I didn't want to go work in corporate America after having Leo. I was like, this isn't it. Like I don't want to miss it. And we're like, okay, well then we have to sell the house because we can't afford it without, which in hindsight, actually our mortgage payment is basically the same.
Oh, really?
Because of the interest rates were higher. But anyways, I digress. God's worked it out. It's all fine. But like it's.
Well, we used to, and I wish we still did this. And I kind of do because I like to write and journal. But Bill and I always had a blessing book, and we'd write it down, then look at it at the end of the year.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you forget those blessings that happened. Oh yeah, remember that such and such happened, and how
there's
God
a proverb about that, like the people who are quick to forget the blessings that they've had, and they think that they're alone or something like that. There's like a proverb somewhere in there that's like,
and I can't remember what it is.
I know how quickly we forget. Yeah.
But I think that's it. Just because we forget sometimes how he supplied, or maybe everything's just it's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. And then we're blessed now with all these wonderful grandkids.
This loud one right here.
Oh, he's awesome.
Oh, he's the best. The last thing I'll say about like just budgets and things, just as everything cost, it feels like everything costs a bunch of money. We have dialed back a lot on gifts for people and kids' birthday parties. Whereas like we used to operate and like, oh crap, someone's birthday party is today. Let me just run into Walmart real quick and then spend like $30 to make, kind of like trying to make up for the fact that we kind of like forgot. And then we're like, like let's do this rush decision. We've kind of backpedaled a lot and just said like, we have this budget for every single kid. Cause like, I mean, we have 4 nieces and nephews, about to have 5, and then plus our kids, plus like parents, parents, and then the kids' grandparents, and then siblings, which I have a lot of siblings. And it's like, okay, if you actually like budget that out, like that's a lot of money each year that is just being spent, and then plus like Christmas and holidays, and then our own birthdays. It's like, okay, for little kids, like there's a small budget to like give them a gift, and it preferably would be homemade. Like because half of the time like we spend all this money on these kids. You've always made the jokes like we'd bet like get this kid this gift that they want, and they play with the box all the time. Right. And it's like that's kind of like we're backpedaling. It's like, okay, what can we make kids of like things that we have around the house, like crafts or whatnot, and then be a blessing that way. Because also like, kid, like kids are not deficient in toys anymore.
Right.
It's actually the opposite. They're having a hard time focusing and feeling content because there's so much toys. So like,
And then not that you go and ask them, but I mean, do they remember what
No.
that, I mean, and that's not against them at all. It's just saying, but a lot of, I think time is, spending time with them is a big thing too. It's like,
yeah, I think kids are deficient in time. And so like, we've done it where like, we had kids over the other night and it's like, I want them to remember it. So, or like have fun. So we just got like paper, cheap craft paper and cheap paint that they just painted all night. And it was great.
and they'll remember
And
that.
they'll remember that more than like, what movie can we rent for them? It's like, no, how about like an experience that they'll actually remember, you know? And it's sometimes investing the time versus financially is
right.
that
And
much
you
more.
can have a lot of fun with that.
Well, like some of the best memories I have is like playing in the backyard with a flashlight or like catching fireflies at night. That's all free.
Yeah.
And it gets the kids out of the house and gets them exercising and like not in the house.
Do you remember rollerblading? You loved.
Yeah, I remember it.
We got at the park, not too far. You guys would just go and
Yeah.
rollerblade, scared the daylights out of me, but you were not afraid of any of those things.
Yeah. But now I'm a grown adult and I'm like, I get nervous crossing the street. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Well, that was a quiet neighborhood, where
Yeah.
we lived there. But yeah.
Yeah.
But
Well,
anyway,
any parting thoughts?
well, thank you I don't know what wisdom I have, but, I just give all credit to the Lord. And
Anything you want to say to like young moms who are listening who are maybe like in the thick of.
don't sweat the small stuff. I know I remember my mother-in-law saying, like, they're babies now. And, you got to say no sometimes, but they're going to grow up and be gone. And that's true. It's like, it's such, and I know it's hard to say that because you don't see it, but how quick time goes and they're gone, and you try to, I know life wasn't perfect, but
That's never the goal.
no, but to have good memories. And, I when I'm dead and gone, I want them to remember how much I loved them. Yes, I do. Little Miles. Anyway, but yeah, that's, that they'll just remember that they had parents that loved them and cared and a God that
Yeah.
watched over them.
Yeah. And like you didn't homeschool because it was the easy choice.
Oh, no.
You didn't stay home because it was the easier choice. That's like, I've told Dave this and and again, you don't know until you know, but I remember thinking like, what do stay-at-home moms do all day? And then I became a stay-at-home mom and I'm like, oh my gosh, I work from sun up to sundown. Like I open my eyes and my shift, I see it as like my shift, my job starts.
Right.
And then you put the babies to sleep and then you fall asleep with them and you're like, okay, the shift's over. And then you sleep and then you wake up and the shift starts again. It is like, I told Dave, I was like, there are times in my life I had 3 jobs at once. Like, and I was working night shift and day shift. And like, it was just me. But like, even at that point in time, like this job was way harder than that ever was. But yet
More rewarding.
so much more rewarding. I feel so much more fulfilled and like purposeful. Like, sure, everything's a short season and like someday my job will look different, but like, man, nothing ever more worth it. And like, you just don't know until you know.
That's right. That's right. It's like that little smile from him a while ago to you. It's like, so worth it.
It is so good because like, I'm his favorite person. I'm like, I'm not that cool. I'm so glad you think I'm cool.
I thought I was your favorite person.
Poor guy.
But yeah, that's sometimes you take it, you say one day at a time. Sometimes it might be 1 minute at a time, or one meal at a time. And you do the best you can with what you got.
Yeah.
We didn't know all the, like I say, we didn't have YouTube to be looking up meals.
Yeah. Or to be like, is this normal that this kid is doing that? You guys didn't have
Right.
Google. So
And you know who we did? We asked our parents.
I know. And I feel like I want to get back to that. I want to get back to being like, hey, instead of turning to Google immediately for for my answers for things. I've tried to like be more like intentional about reaching out to you or reaching out to someone who's
To other parents, that other moms that you're friends with, like, hey, is he supposed to be doing this? Or say,
Yeah.
you know, because we didn't, if my sisters were far away, we couldn't always talk everything was long distance. We didn't have, so that was,
Wow.
yeah. But,
I also, if I find a Bible verse that's encouraging, I'll like put it on a Post-it note and tape it in front of the sink. Or I have dry erase markers, and I'll put Bible verses like every month or so, a month and a half. I'll put like new Bible verses on our mirrors, like even just for Dave and I to see, like, because sometimes, you know, I'm sure as everybody feels, I'm sure you guys felt this of like, okay, like there's like actually not that much time where we can actually spend quality time together, but like here's some like an encouraging word from the Lord, like that's in the Bible,
and it's like, oh, that's just what I need.
yeah,
Right.
and that like, and we shouldn't get so wrapped up in like working in the to-do list that like to miss what actually matters is that,
Right.
like these little potatoes that we keep spudding out, you know. All right, we're gonna cut because my poor daughter probably needs some lunch. So
Okay. All right.
thanks for being here.
I love you.
Love you too.
And you're doing a great job being a mom.
Thanks.
I'm very proud of you.
Appreciate it. I really like it, and I never thought I'd be able to say that.
It's amazing how your heart,
Yeah,
you know,
changes.
yeah.
I
That
was
old-
raised in like the magazine culture that like motherhood is the worst and you should prioritize a job, and I did that, and I was like, this sucks. And thank God, by the grace of God, he showed me that early on. Like I remember getting to a point in a job where people were like, wow, like, oh, you have this job at this place and you're making a decent living, and you know, and I remember just like looking around and being like, this is it?
Yeah.
Coming to work at a corporate job every single day, pretending to like people that I don't, and then like being expected to pour out and like I'm like, you're telling me this is more important than raising my kids? Really?
Yeah.
Pass. I actually wrote a song about that. I'm gonna.
Oh, I'd like to hear
eventually.
it. But yeah, because like I worked corporate. I love my job now. I have.
Yeah.
Love it to pieces.
There's nothing wrong with
But-
loving
no,
a
no,
job, but
I didn't love the corporate job.
Yeah.
But my favorite job of all has been being a wife and mom.
yeah,
You know.
and grandma.
And grandma.
Nina.
Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah. So that's it. It's anyway. All right.
Love you, Nina.
I love you.
Okay. Cut.
This content is for educational purposes only and is not intended as medical advice.
Please do your own research and find a trusted medical professional for personalized guidance and advice.
We are not responsible for your decisions based on the information you hear on this podcast.
Bye.
Bye.